What Charles Leclerc just said behind closed doors at Ferrari has left the entire team completely stunned, and Lewis Hamilton is reportedly speechless in the already tense atmosphere at Maranello. This bombshell statement from Leclerc could change absolutely everything, from the direction of the SF25's development to the hierarchy within the team and potentially the entire dynamic of the 2025 Formula One season. This isn't just a disagreement, it's a declaration of independence. So what exactly did Leclerc say, and why did he say it? And how will this affect Hamilton, Ferrari, and the rest of the championship? You're about to find out everything, and I promise you, it's even more explosive than you might think. But before we dive into the drama, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and turn on the bell so you never miss an update. According to Corriere dello Sport, one of Italy's most respected publications, Charles Leclerc told Ferrari that he is officially going his own way regarding the SF25. He will no longer follow the guidance coming from Lewis Hamilton's side of the garage. He won't adapt his driving style to fit a philosophy that he feels doesn't suit him. And from now on, he will take a completely different direction. This isn't speculation. This is a direct report based on internal conversations between team principal Fred Vasseur and the senior technical leadership at Ferrari. The statement came immediately after the Japanese Grand Prix, a race where once again Ferrari showed flashes of potential but ultimately fell short. What Leclerc is doing here is not just seeking a different setup. He's breaking ranks, and this has massive implications. Ferrari has reportedly been heavily leaning on Hamilton's opinions since his high-profile switch from Mercedes. According to Corriere dello Sport, engineers and team management had been hanging on every word of Hamilton, treating his comments as gospel in an effort to finally build a car capable of winning a championship. But the results so far speak for themselves. Ferrari is currently sitting in 4th place in the Constructors' Championship, and Hamilton's best result in a Grand Prix is 9th. His only real success came with a sprint race win in China, while Leclerc, in contrast, has consistently outperformed him in race conditions, including a strong 4th place finish in Suzuka, which remains Ferrari's best result in a Grand Prix this season. And that's where the story really starts to heat up. Behind the scenes, on the Saturday night after qualifying in Japan, he allegedly sat down with Vasseur and Ferrari's technical directors and said, "I'm going my own way." He made it clear that he no longer wants to align the development of his car with Hamilton's. In fact, he's preparing to take an entirely new direction for the Bahrain Grand Prix, a direction that reflects his driving style, his preferences, and his vision for how the SF25 should evolve. This move comes at a critical time, as Ferrari is currently preparing a major upgrade package for the SF25, specifically a new floor designed to improve balance and drivability. However, there's disagreement within the team about when it should be introduced and what direction the car's setup philosophy should follow. And now, with Leclerc stepping away from Hamilton's leadership, Ferrari faces the very real possibility of developing 2 different cars within the same team. Let that sink in. 2 different development philosophies, 2 top drivers going in separate directions, 2 divergent garage setups every race. This is not how championships are won, but let's try to understand Leclerc's reasoning. After the Japanese race, he clearly explained his frustration, saying, "It was a rather annoying race. I was completely alone. The guys ahead were just too quick in the first stint. I thought maybe we could do something, but they pulled away. It's disappointing because we put everything together this weekend and the balance was right, but the car just didn't perform." What's incredibly revealing is that he's essentially saying the setup was ideal for him. The car felt good, but it just wasn't fast enough. This is a clear indication that he believes the limitations no longer lie with his driving, but with the philosophy and design of the car. And that's why he's decided to break away from Hamilton's influence. He believes that continuing down this path will only lead to more compromises, more frustration, and ultimately a season of missed opportunities. Instead, he will now follow his own development path, hoping that Ferrari can provide him with the tools to compete not only with Hamilton, but also with Red Bull and McLaren. So, what does this leave for Hamilton? Let's be frank. This is a serious blow to his authority within Ferrari. He wasn't brought in just as a driver, but as a leader, a technical benchmark, someone who could guide the team out of its never-ending cycle of near wins and rebuild the winning culture that defined the Schumacher era. But after just 3 races, that image is already under threat. Ferrari's established man has effectively said, "Thanks, but no thanks." This is a bold statement, one that will undoubtedly cause friction in the garage. And it's not just about ego. Hamilton himself admitted after the Japanese Grand Prix that there's a deficit between the two sides of the garage and an element of underperformance within the team. An incredibly rare language from Lewis, who usually keeps internal criticism to a minimum, signaling that something deeper is wrong. And now he's confirmed it by stepping away from the shared strategy. So, what's next? The road ahead for Ferrari is now more uncertain than ever, and the choices made in the coming weeks could define not only the outcome of the 2025 Formula One season, but the future of the team itself. On one hand, if the team chooses to support Leclerc's bold stance and gives him full autonomy over his side of the development, they may finally unlock the untapped potential that's remained dormant in the SF25. This would allow the team to tailor half the garage to his strengths, potentially speeding up the performance gains that have so far been elusive. After all, Leclerc has consistently outperformed Hamilton when it matters most in race conditions, and has undoubtedly adapted better to the weaknesses of this year's car. But at the same time, doing so risks creating a rift that could completely destabilize the team's dynamic. 2 top drivers, 2 directions, 2 philosophies, and only 1 factory team budget in the high-pressure world of Formula One. Running parallel development strategies is rarely sustainable, as it can lead to engineering confusion, poor resource allocation, and ultimately internal resentment. In turn, Hamilton likely won't stay silent if he feels his influence is being diminished, or if the team is favoring Leclerc's voice over his own. He didn't join Ferrari to be second. He joined to win, to rebuild, to lead. And if that power is slipping away after just 3 races, we may be seeing the beginning of a conflict that could escalate far beyond simple technical disagreements. Moreover, Ferrari's leadership, including team principal Fred Vasseur, now finds itself in an incredibly delicate position. Either try to bring the 2 drivers together through compromise and negotiation, or bet on the division and try to extract the best from both, even if it means operating 2 different concepts in parallel. It's a strategic dilemma that no top-tier team wants, especially not one already chasing Red Bull and McLaren in a Constructors' Championship where every point counts. Because internal disunity is like poison, any lost potential in any car is a gift to the rivals. Meanwhile, in the driver's title fight, this is a golden opportunity for Leclerc. He has momentum, has shown consistency, and is clearly determined to shape the future of this car around his own driving DNA, regardless of who's in the garage alongside him. And if Leclerc's development path doesn't prove better than Hamilton's, if the improvements he demands don't translate into performance, Ferrari could find itself not only divided but lost without a clear direction and with 2 frustrated drivers tearing the team apart. And there's also the pressure from Ferrari's fans, who don't tolerate internal politics. They expect unity, progress, results. And if this division becomes public and performance doesn't follow, the situation could turn ugly quickly. Meanwhile, Red Bull and McLaren will be watching closely, knowing that as long as Ferrari is fighting internally, the door will remain wide open for them to build an even bigger lead. And let's face it, during a season where Max Verstappen already looks poised to take back his dominant position, Ferrari can't afford to be distracted by internal conflicts. Ferrari may have already lost control of its 2025 campaign. Not yet, but the warning signs are flashing. And if this situation continues to deteriorate without resolution, they may not only lose the championship, but also the trust of both their drivers. Now the floor is yours. What do you think? Was Leclerc right to hold his ground and demand a development path that suits him? Has Hamilton lost the leadership position he was promised when he joined Ferrari? Will the team be able to recover from this internal rift before it causes irreparable damage to their title hopes? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to hearing your opinion.